Hey guys, today we are making 2 overnight breakfast casseroles, one sweet and one savory. Perfect for the holidays or any weekend brunch or get together. It's so nice that you can make it the day before, and then when you have company or family, you can just pop it in the oven in the morning and be able to visit and relax. We love making these for Christmas Eve morning, Christmas morning, New Year's. So we will be making my cheesy sausage egg bake and my French toast casserole. So let's go get started. So I have my casserole dish here greased, and to it I am adding 20 ounces of hash browns. I like to partially cook them in my air fryer or in the oven just so that you get some of that golden color, but you can absolutely just add them in thawed and raw. As well as 1 pound of ground sausage, cooked and drained. You could also add bacon or swap it with bacon. A half a red bell pepper diced, a half of green bell pepper diced, and a 1/4 cup of diced onion. And then we are going to add on 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. And then in a separate bowl, I'm combining 8 large eggs with 1 can of evaporated milk, a half a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of pepper, as well as a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And we just want to whisk that all together and pour it on top. And then we are going to add another 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese to the top of that. So now at this point you can just pop it into the refrigerator, and then the next morning you would preheat the oven to 350 degrees and bake for about 55 to 65 minutes or until the eggs are set in the center. And then you can cut it into squares, scoop it out, whatever you'd like. And as I said, you can really change this recipe up. You could make it vegetarian and just do mushrooms. You could do turkey sausage, whatever you and your family and friends enjoy. I just love how light and fluffy the eggs are, and it's so full of flavor. The peppers and onions get cooked perfectly, and it feels like you spent hours on this. But you got to just relax all morning. So now let's move on to my French toast casserole. So in a large bowl here, I'm combining 8 eggs with 2 cups of milk, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, and a half a teaspoon of cinnamon. And you just want to give that a good mix. And then in my casserole dish here, I have 1 large loaf of Italian bread that I just cubed up. You could use any kind of soft, large loaf of bread here. And then we're just going to pour that egg mixture all over the top. And now, depending on how much bread you have, you may not need all of this batter mix, but it will not go to waste. You can put it in the refrigerator and use it to make regular French toast. You can also freeze the mixture, or you could make a second smaller casserole dish with some more bread, which is what I usually like to do. But again, it depends. There have been times that I've gotten really large loaves of bread and it was the perfect mix. So now we are going to make a cinnamon sugar sauce to drizzle all over the top. So I'm combining a 1/4 cup of butter melted with 3 tablespoons of brown sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and we just want to pour that all over the top. And then this is the point where we would refrigerate it overnight, or you could bake it immediately. So when we're ready for baking, we just want to preheat the oven to 350 degrees and bake for about 30 minutes covered in aluminum foil. And then you want to remove the foil and bake it for an additional 15 to 20 minutes or until the top is nice and golden brown, and the internal temperature should reach about 165. Now, I know it may be tempting to dig into right away, but try to let this cool in the pan for about 10 minutes because it will be piping hot. This French toast casserole is one of our favorites. We've been making it for years and years, and now it's become my son's favorite. He had leftovers of this for like 2 days. And he's still asking for more, so I guess I'm just gonna have to make it again. I really hope you guys give these a try. It's a great way to make the holidays a little less stressful and give you time to enjoy with your loved ones instead of standing around the kitchen. If you give either of these a try, please be sure to leave me a comment and let me know what you think. And thank you so much for watching until the end, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.